Hi, guys. Welcome to Downballot Roundup, where I introduce you to Democratic candidates running in local elections throughout the country. Today, I am here with Ty Hogan, who is running for Ohio State Senate to represent Ohio's 8th District. Hi, Ty. It's great to have you here. How you doing?
I'm good, Brian. How you doing?
I'm fantastic, thank you. Welcome. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So, Cincinnati native. I grew up on the east side, married a west sider, so you know where I live now.
Ooh.
I know. I know.
Ooh.
We compromised in Hyde Park for a minute, but after the baby, it was lights out. So, live over there now. Just had my first child. He's adorable, 1 years old. Little,
Oh.
yeah, he's a cutie. But went to Summit for high school. From there, Fordham University. I played football at Fordham. Go Rams! I did a accelerated master's there. I was a tight end, and then went to Wall Street. I was on Wall Street for about 5 years, and then actually today is very personal to me. Living and working in the financial district, 9/11 had a significant impact on my life. So I I just really struggled with being there while so many individuals were sacrificing to help find justice, and also working on Wall Street, getting to know so many people who had lost so much. So I decided to make a change, and I joined the Marine Corps. So best, hardest, and easiest decision in my life. But did 2 years overseas. I was a reconnaissance platoon commander and intelligence officer. Got back, got into asset management, went back to finance, and then just thought I could do a little bit more, especially after events like January 6th. I think we need leaders who can help bring us together. So I quit my job. I went to Harvard's Kennedy School and focused on trying to hone my background in leadership and economics and business. I also started a business throughout this as well, a real estate firm, trying to focus that on government, right? How do I be the best possible politician I can? I thought the Kennedy School offered that. So went up to Cambridge, did a different sort of deployment up there for a year, came back, and now I teach economics at the University of Cincinnati, put Bearcats to sleep for a living, and run my company, but really all in on this race at this point.
Excellent. And I try not to talk too much on these, but in the interest of full disclosure, I grew up in Terrace Park,
Nice.
which is very close to Hyde Park, and I went to the other country day, which is
Oh, man.
uh,
Oh, damn, you seem like such a
yeah.
nice guy, too.
I know. There's only only so many things you can do.
A great story.
All right. Well, speaking of, why don't you tell me a little bit about District 4?
It's District 8. That's probably
District
a good
8. I'm
start.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's insanely gerrymandered. Let's start there. Indiana to Indian Hill, your old stomping ground.
Hmm.
Addison to Anderson, and all the areas where it would be favorable to have a D next to your name seem to be carved out. So uh, it's about a 60-40 split, which, to normal human beings is out of reach. Win rate of maybe 22,000 votes. But guy like me, who put everything else aside and said, "Hey, this is the focus because I know Ohio needs it." And I'm sure we'll get into that later, talking about why I'm running and some of the issues that we're facing, where I can help. But that's the district, and I mean, great people though, really great people. We've canvassed almost 21,000 houses. We started early and we went aggressive. Our ground game's really strong. My students are amazing. I'm just thankful to have so many individuals who believe in me and my ability to help Ohio. And fortunately, they've all been given their grades, so they're not just brown nosing. I know they actually do believe that I can help. So, um, yeah, great people. Terrace Park's in the district too, which is awesome. I love Terrace Park. Growing up in Melford, right there, and
Yep.
it's working east to west. We started in Anderson, which has changed quite a bit. Now we just hit a couple thousand doors in Green Township. Tough, but I've never gotten through my background and what I'm passionate about and how I can help and gotten a bad reaction.
That's fantastic. And when you go through and you talk to these guys, what is the issue you think is really sticking out the most that people are really concerned with?
Yeah, the economy and corruption. But let's focus on the economy. A little biased as an economics professor.
Of
Ohio's
course.
economy ranks 39th. U.S. News, objective source. I mean, I think Wallet Hub has us as the 10th worst economy in the nation. I think when people become aware of that, it's partially an awareness campaign. But when they realize how much we're losing to states like Tennessee and Texas and how some of their cities are absolutely thriving, even up north in Columbus. I mean, Cincinnati relative to Columbus, when you look at this year's budget for the state, I mean, it's eating up the dollars, right? We need people who can actually fight for our district objectively, who aren't fully fueled by a political party and just a puppet for whatever they need.
And what do you think, as a member of the state house, what could you do to fuel that?
So, number one, operate with a little integrity. After
Hmm.
Ohio just went through the largest corruption scandal in its 224-year history, and not one piece of legislation has been passed to ensure that it doesn't happen again. I mean, remind me again the definition of insanity. Uh, we need higher caliber leaders in the state house. Let's start with that. Individuals who aren't controlled by political parties, special interest groups, corporate PACs, and that's why we're only taking we're grassroots, only taking donations from people, and we have raised more than not only any Democrat to ever run in this race, but all of them combined. So I think that really speaks to, and biggest donors, full transparency, are Republicans. I think that really says
Mm.
so much about how I can help bring us together.
Okay, so I just want to pivot for 1 second because there's one thing that bothers me having grown up there is the level of discourse that's sort of changed. It used to be everybody was very, very nice and polite, and I don't
Yeah.
feel that coming out of there anymore. Would you just quickly sort of comment on political discourse in the area these days?
Uh, you know, I mean, we've had some tough conversations throughout the district. You go to 21,000 houses in a Republican district, um, you're going to get some unfriendly discourse. But overall, I really do believe that we're not as far apart as the media portrays us to be. And when you actually sit down and you listen to the other side, my wife's a Republican. Some of my best friends from the Marines. Um, business, working at Fort Washington, subsidiary Western and Southern. Like, Republicans are not the enemy. So I think when you frame it like that, of, hey, you're a friend with a different idea, right? How do we solve the problem? What's the end state? And when you focus on issues like the economy, I think that you can get more, it's not a hot button emotional issue. So you can actually have calmer, cooler conversations that are productive.
Excellent. All right, that's good to hear. Um, Now, where is an issue where you and your opponent differ?
Yeah. So corruption, for example. I mean, wages. He proposed kind of a really just a half-ass wage increase because he was trying to get support. But at that time, it appeared that it was going to be a referendum on the ballot in terms of raising the minimum wage to $15 for tipped and untipped. So, he had a quote that really bothered me. He said, "Hey, I'm doing this," which wasn't going to do the same thing. It was a PG version of it, watered down. And his quote was, "Let's meet Ohio voters where they are." I mean, if we're going to meet them where they are, if they're going to vote to pass these referendums and citizen-led initiatives, like we're going to see for issue one coming up here, how about we get leaders who can actually do that and do the job that we pay them to do, opposed to having to do it ourselves?
All right. Now we're short on time here, so I got to ask you this one quickly. But I would like to hear from you. This is my softball question. Tell me something about that district that makes it special to you.
I mean, it's Cincinnati East Side meets West Side. I never in a million years thought I would fall in love with the West Side as much as I have, but that's the truth. These are hardworking, respectable individuals who deserve better. So I just think about, yeah, the people. I mean, the people. Harvest Home, we just went to that, which was great. That's like the Super Bowl of the West Side events. My opponent no-showed it, right? If there's one thing to know about me, know it. I care, right? That's why I've gone to almost 22,000 houses, and we're going to keep doing that.
All right. Ty Hogan running for the Ohio State Senate in District 8, my home district. So please, guys, get out and get to know this guy. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
You're the man, Brian.
All right. Thanks a lot.